Hey friends, welcome back to another slow yoga flow. Today we're going to be focusing on the upper body release. So opening and lengthening through the chest, the shoulders, the upper back, the spine, just giving some love back to our upper body. Let's get started in a kneeling position. So sitting your hips down on your heels. If your heels aren't loving this today, your ankles, feel free to come into a cross-legged position. You just want to make sure that you feel comfortable. Hands can either be placed down in your lap or they can be turned up. And maybe starting to close down the eyes. Just noting to your body and your mind that we're becoming a little bit more internal. Start to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose, filling up through the lungs, feeling the ribs expand, the chest, the diaphragm, and exhaling, feeling it all come back to your center. You might feel some sensations today that feel a little bit uncomfortable. And all I encourage you to do is to breathe and try to release. Let's try to take one more deep breath here. When you're ready, we'll just take a few gentle neck circles. So rolling your head from one side and then to the other. Drawing the air down towards the shoulder. And then maybe slowly drawing the chin in towards the chest and then meeting the other shoulder. Maybe the eyes stay closed here. Now the next time that your head meets the right shoulder, try to clasp the hands together behind your back and then pull your knuckles towards your right hip. Soften the shoulders down. Taking some deep breaths, opening through the left side of the neck. And then we'll swap directions. So gently turning the head towards the left side so the ear drapes towards the left shoulder. Hands come behind the left hip. Using our inhales to lengthen and our exhales to soften and expand. Let's release the hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles together at the front. Big breath in as we reach the knuckles as far as we can forward, round up through the upper back, and maybe shift from side to side a little bit. Separate the shoulder blades away from each other. Try to curve and puff up through the shoulders as much as you can. And then when you're ready, press the palms away from you. Take a big breath in to lift the pinkies high. Try press them as far behind you as they can. Draw the ribs in slightly. Feeling a big opening through the shoulders. And then just release it down. Let's bring the hands out in front of us, finding a tabletop position. Spread the fingertips wide and start to take a few circles here. So circling through our wrists in one direction. And then the other direction. Feel free to draw the fingertips towards your knees, maybe one at a time, maybe both at a time. Feeling the openings down the forearms. Feel free to draw the backs of the hands onto the ground as well. Just whatever feels best for you here. And then bring the hands back to center. On your next inhale, let's sweep the right hand towards the ceiling. As we exhale, draw the right hand in between the left hand and the left knee. Soften the right shoulder down, threading the needle here. Now the left hand can stay on the ground, or you could take the left hand around the right wrist, gently pressing away from the right hand. So trying to arch through the upper back as much as we can, pulling our shoulders away from our hand, pulling our hand away from the shoulder. Take a big breath in here through the nose. Big breath out through the mouth. See if you can twist a little deeper. Let's bring the left hand back by our head. We're going to gently press ourselves up, but take the right hand to the right side of you. Soften the chest down. We're probably not going to be able to get the chest down towards the ground, and that is okay. Maybe the head rests on the ground, or maybe it's lifted off the ground. Let's try to take one more breath. Big opening through the chest, and then when you're ready, bring that right hand back to center, finding your tabletop. A little shift from side to side with the hips. Let's try that on the other side. So as we inhale, let's lift the left hand towards the ceiling, finding your twist. As we exhale, draw the left hand between the right hand and the right knee, softening the left shoulder down. And maybe you stay with the right hand on the ground and gently peel that right shoulder back. Or maybe you take the right hand around the left wrist and you gently press that hand away a little further. Opening through the upper back and the spine. Let's try to take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, if you've got that right hand extended, gently bring it back. Let's lift ourselves up, extend the left hand towards the left side and soften the left chest down. Try to keep the eye gaze out over your right shoulder here. So you're encouraging the left shoulder to drop and the right shoulder to open. One more breath. And then gently come back to center. Find your tabletop again, neutral spine, and then shift the hips from side to side. We're going to take a long step forward with both hands. My favorite pose, one of my favorite poses. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, soften the heart space down towards the ground, finding your puppy pose, lifting the tailbone high. Trying to draw the shoulder blades apart. The forehead is trying to draw down towards the ground. Same with the heart space. If your heart is close towards the ground or it's touching, feel free to start to lift your eye gaze. Maybe the chin grazes on the ground as well. But if you feel any pain or any strong sensations down at the neck or the spine, please let that go. One more breath. Really see if we can lengthen that exhale to soften and relax ourselves. And then when you're ready, slowly walking yourself back to tabletop. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, press away from the ground, round through the upper back, finding your cat. Maybe a little shift from side to side here, opening through the shoulder blades. Finding our counter pose for that big spine extension. Let's recenter into neutral. Take the fingertips wide. We're going to tuck onto our toes and lift our hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's try really focus on lengthening and opening through the spine and the upper back. So bend your legs as much as you can here to lengthen that tailbone high. Draw the shoulder blades up the spine and feel the chest pull through towards the thighs. Feel free to add some movement here if you'd like. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other knee, drawing the shoulder in, and then drawing the other shoulder in. Feel free to make some ripples forward and back slightly. making this movement yours. Let's find a moment of stillness. Keep spreading the shoulder blades apart and then up. And then when you're ready, let's walk the hands back towards the feet. Soften the heels down, feet are about hip width distance here. Draw the chin in towards the chest. A little bit of a hamstring opener as well in our Uttanasana. Lift our chest slightly. We're going to take our hands around the insides of the opposite thigh. As much as you can, try to pull away from the thighs, round through the upper back. And maybe a gentle twist from side to side as well. So you want to feel this down, the side bodies down, the muscles around the spine. It should feel pretty good. Let's gently release the hands back down towards the ground. Tuck the chin in, finding your Uttanasana. Inhaling to expand the back of the ribs. Exhaling to deepen. Let's gently press away from the ground. Roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Squeeze your glutes, find your way to standing. Shoulders roll back. Let's inhale, lift the arms above your head, lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, bring the hands behind your back, clasp your hands together, draw the knuckles down towards the ground. Try to lengthen through the lower spine here, so your tailbone draws down, shoulders roll back. And as much as you can, try press the palms together here. So we're encouraging that external mobilization of the shoulder joint. Let's release the hands. We're going to take them out by our sides and practice some nerve flossing. This feels quite beautiful and strange at the same time. You'll understand why. So let's take your right fingertips down towards the ground, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. You might already feel something here. Try press the palms away as far as you can. And if you feel like you have a little bit more space, gently drop the right head to the right shoulder. And you should feel a very strong sensation down the left arm. And then when you're ready, just switching to the other side. So drawing the right fingertips up, reaching the left fingertips down. And you may stay here, or you may drop the left shoulder towards the left head towards the left shoulder. And feel free to use your breath here to flow through this. It should never feel painful. It's quite a strong sensation, so you should feel something. But if it feels quite sharp, just let it go. One more breath each side. And then when you're ready, just shake it out. Release the hands. Take the feet a little bit wider. You're going to reach both hands towards the front of us. And then extend the right hand back, lift up onto your left toes. And then bring it forward and bring the left hand back. So you can make this a little bit slower, or you can make this a little bit faster. Just what feels really good for your chest, through the spine. Let's try one more breath. And then when you're ready, bring the hands back down by their sides. Take a big breath in to lift the arms. As we exhale, bend the knees, fold back forward. So your feet are wide here. You might want to walk your feet out a little bit further. So if you've got a mat, maybe outside hip mat width distance. Let's bend the left knee, place the left hand towards the ground or on your ankle. Reach the right hand up towards the ceiling on an inhale. On your exhale, feel free to stay here, or you could take your right hand behind your left hip. Maybe trying to reach towards the left inner thigh. Big twist. Let's release that bind. Bring the right hand down towards the ground. Re-bend through the right knee. Take a big breath in to reach the left hand towards the ceiling. Exhale to stay here, or you could take your left hand behind, clasping at the right hip or the right inner thigh. Gently press that left shoulder back. Well done. Let's release that left hand down. Walk the hands out slightly and then soften your knees down towards the ground as well. Take a big breath in to lift through both hands. As we exhale, open the elbows wide, squeeze the glutes here. Bring hands behind your glutes, finding a new Ustrasana. Let's inhale to lift tall through the spine. As we exhale, draw the elbows back slightly. Little baby back bend here. We haven't done too much back bending in the last wee while, so please make this gentle. Inhale to lift the hands back up tall. As we exhale, gently hinge from the hips, bringing your hips back, reaching the hands forward as slow as you can, making your way down into our Balasana, our child's pose. When you're ready, softening the forehead down, softening the hands, the shoulders. Regrounding for this next breath. Let's walk our hands back. Let's try that one more time. Lift the hips. Take a big breath in to lift both arms. As we exhale, draw the elbows wide, lift tall through the spine and squeeze the glutes. Bring the hands behind your back onto the glutes. Take a big breath in to lift tall. As we exhale, gentle baby back bend. Roll the shoulders down the spine. But reminding ourselves that we want to be lifting tall up and then back rather than dumping down into our lower spine. One more breath. Let's inhale, reach the arms back up towards the ceiling. As we exhale as slow as we can, softening our hips back, reaching the fingertips forward. And then bringing the hands down towards the ground, softening the heart space, softening the shoulders. Feel free to stay in your Balasana, your child's pose, or you're more than welcome to bring your hands behind you, maybe clasping around the outsides of the heels or the ankles or a little bit higher. Take a big breath in to lift the hips off the heels, bring the crown of the head onto the ground so we're looking in between our feet. Finding our Sasangasana, our rabbit pose. Draw the chin in towards the chest. We want to pull away from our heels, round up through the upper back as much as we can. Feeling it opening through the shoulder blades, the trapezius muscles. One more breath. And then softening your way back down to your heels. Let's all walk ourselves back up. And come onto our sit bones. Let's bring our left foot out in front of us, right foot onto the insides of our thigh. Finding our Janushasana. Take a big breath in to lift. As we exhale, gently walk yourself forward over your left knee. You might be a little bit higher here. You might be a little bit lower. Now this is really opening through the back of the body. So depending on where you're feeling quite tight today, you might feel this in the left hamstring, left calf. You might feel this in the lower back or the upper back. Feel free to hang out here and breathe deep. Or you could walk your right hand over the left side, both hands over the left side of your leg. And if you can touch, feel free to take the right hand around the left outer edge of the foot to pull yourself a little bit deeper. And releasing both of those hands if you have them here. Let's draw the left hand or the elbow on the inside of the left leg. Take a big breath in to spin the heart space open, reaching the right hand towards the ceiling and then over. Exhaling to expand and revolve. Finding our Parivrita Janushasana, or revolved head to knee pose. Big sensations down the right side body here. One more breath. Let's circle our right hand towards the back. Turn the fingertips away from you and press through the palm of the hand. Lift the hips high. Circle the left hand towards the back as well. Squeeze the glutes. One more breath. And then releasing the hips down towards the heel, the hips down towards the ground. Let's change sides. So extend the right leg forward, bring the left foot onto the inner thigh. Take a big breath in to lift. As we exhale, let's walk ourselves forward. This has to be one of my favorite openers as well. You can really become internal here. Softening the eyes and extending our breaths. And feel free to walk your hands over to the right side of the leg, maybe reaching the left fingertips a little further away so you feel the opening through the left side body. Or you could take the left hand around the outside of the right foot and gently using that bind as a way to pull you a little deeper. Let's try one more breath. And perhaps ask yourself, where can I soften? When you're ready, just releasing the hands and walking them onto the inside of the right leg. Draw the elbow or the hand on the inside. Take a big breath in to lift the hand up. And then as we exhale, turn your heart space. Revolve that top shoulder back. And you can use the inside, the pressing of the elbow or hand on the inside of the leg to turn that bottom shoulder through as well. And maybe you lift your eye gaze here if that feels good. One more breath. When you're ready, taking that left hand behind us, turn the left fingertips away, press through the hand, lift the hips high, reach the right hand towards the back. Opening through the heart space and the spine. And then when you're ready, softening the hips back down. Let's scoot forward on your mat if you are on your mat. I'm going to gently roll down through the spine. Either bring your feet up on top of your hips, finding waterfall pose. If you wanted to try, you could press your hands into the ground, lifting the hips up, and then taking the feet up and over, finding our halasana, our plow pose. We want to try lift our hips so they're stacked on top of the shoulders. Lift the belly into the spine, and it's totally okay if the feet are not touching the ground here. Again, where you feel this might depend on where you're feeling tight. So if you feel quite tight within the hamstrings, you might feel this here. You might feel this within the nerves of the back. Let's try to take one more breath. And then when you're ready, just gently rolling down through the spine. Let's stack both knees over the hips. Take the hands wide and gently draw the knees over to the left. Maybe the left hand comes around the right thigh and we gently look over the right hand. And then when you're ready, taking an in breath to lift the knees back high and exhaling to draw them over to the other side. The left hand, maybe bring the right hand on top of the thigh. A gentle release for our spine. When you're ready, let's come back to center. Just finding a position that feels comfortable for you, maybe knocking the knees together, taking the feet wide, or extending both of your legs out. We will just spend about a minute or two in our Savasana. Noticing any shifts, any openings within the physical body, any space that's been created. Also noticing any shifts that's occurred within the mind space, within the heart. Reconnect with your breath. Maybe gently drawing the knees out towards your chest in a little ball. Giving yourself a little hug, a little squeeze, saying thank you for moving me today. Maybe grabbing the backs of the legs, gently rolling yourself up. And there we go. That was a beautiful opening release, expansion through the upper body, the spine. It's a great thing that we can do for ourselves. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm sure I will see you again soon. See you later.